Hello everyone, it's Kylie. I'm coming at you with a little bit of a different video. Um, so what I'm doing today is I'm just showing you how to budget. Well, how I budget anyways. You don't have to do this, but this is how I do it, and it's what helped keep my family afloat, and with us living paycheck to paycheck, it has allowed me to save as much as I can for my family. um, I've fallen off the budget train, I guess, if you will, and I'm getting back on it, so you'll see some examples of me trying to catch up in this video. Excuse me. But yeah, let's just jump right into it. So when I first start a budget, I start in either Excel or Google Sheets. I like Google Sheets just because obviously I can't access my saved file of Excel when I'm at work or something like that if I need to like quickly change something on the spot. But what I'll start out with is I will list what we have. So total have, and then I will put that as, and I have already done this, and I'm just going to redo it just to show you, and just to let you know these are my real numbers. So for the rest of this pay period, we have $1,963.91. So 1963.63. And then I'll leave a space here, and then I will quickly type in what we still have left to pay. Now I take out rent in the last half of the month, just because it is due on the 1st, and I don't want to be late, especially when it comes to something like rent. So I always take out my rent during the last half and not in my first check, just because we get paid like a week and a half sometimes into the month, and I just want to pay that on time. So, and that is $680 in total. That includes the processing fee to pay online. Then we have, I'm probably going to reference this sheet a lot, but then we have food for $150. Now, when I budget for food, I also include my toiletries that I need. So if I need toilet paper, laundry, detergent, shampoo, that's why my budget is a little high. And that is also weekly. So we already went grocery shopping last week since we've gotten paid. And we have one more week between pay periods to actually go grocery shopping. So ordinarily there are 4 weeks in the month usually before we get paid. Sometimes there's 5, and I'll show you that here in a minute. But so I would just divide 600 by 4 and I'd get 150 a week, and that seems to be working for us. But we only have 1 week until we get paid again, so I'm only doing that once. Then I have my fuel. Me and my husband each have a budget of $40 for fuel. It usually doesn't go past that, but that's one of those things that fuel just kind of, forgot to put fuel in there. Fuel just kind of fluctuates, so I just like to like really over budget. Sometimes it's over budgeted by double, and sometimes I do hit like $35 in gas. It just depends on what the price of gas is. So I need to reference this again. So next we have insurance and Best Buy. So insurance, my car insurance is $154.19, and then Best Buy, because we just bought a new TV, it should be $40 a month. We're just starting with $40. If we feel like we need to increase it soon just to pay it off a little sooner, we'll do that. But right now we're just going to do $40. See how the first 2 months go like that. Should be fine, but you know. Then we have power and gym, and honestly I'm just going to copy these because I'm really bad at remembering numbers. So we can just go ahead. Power will be, I've already checked it. I've already got the statement in. I just haven't paid it yet, so that's why it's included. It is $48.21. And then the gym, I rounded up. So I included tax. We're going to need $73 because my husband wants to go back to the gym. That will include the initial fee. and then that will include next month's fee as well as the annual fee. So I totaled it all together, and that's just the gym budget. $73. And then we've got things like this, which are kind of like our sinking funds. I'm going to just copy paste that again and go over it. Whoa, okay. Paste. So, I like to highlight what is in cash in green just so I know when I'm making my list before I go to the bank. So I'm just going to go ahead and highlight this food. I like to pay in cash with my food. But we've got our car tags and oil changes, which I think might be swapped, but that's not a big deal. So car tags and oil changes, this is a sinking fund. If you don't know what a sinking fund is, it's basically it's like an annual payment or like biannual payment, and you divide that by however many months you have left until you have to pay that thing. So another example of like a sinking fund would be like a Christmas fund. So if you start in January, you've got 12 months, you say you have $500, divide that by 12. That number will be what you save every month to make sure that you have $500 come December. But right now we've got our card tags, which I have already calculated out. It's usually about $220. I don't think I used exactly $220, but let's just do this right now. My card tags are every single year, so by 12. So 18, 13. So if I went with 120, I believe I did like 116. I would just round that up to $19. But I did 18. That should work for me. And then oil changes are every 6 months. So that came out to be $17 a month. So I'll just take that out in cash and stick it in its envelope. Medication is a monthly thing, so it's not really a sinking fund, but I do like to have that kind of thing on cash. Like I go into the pharmacy and pay for it with cash. And all of our medication totals out about $85. And then of course we have the cat fund, because we got to take care of our cat. That is also a monthly thing. Usually we only spend about $25 a month for like regular things like kitty litter and food, but we just keep the extra like 25 in an envelope, and if it just keeps going and going, that's fine, because the more that it is saved up, the more we can use down the road if she has an emergency at the vet's office. So it's kind of like a sinking fund, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. So we've got 18, 17, 85, and 50. So that is all I actually need for my bills. I do consider these like bills just because they are set amounts. The next thing I do is I will put the total of what is needed. So I'll enter equal sign, sum, parenthesis, and then I will just highlight all these numbers right here, and I'll hit enter. So I will need $1,362.20 to cover everything that has to come out. That's what I need. And then let's just go ahead. I like to also at some point change this to the dollar sign. In Sheets, there's just a little dollar symbol right up here at the top. And it just says format as currency. I just click that and it turns it into numbers. While we're doing this as well, we can also just straighten all this up. So just like that. What we need is $362.20. And then I'll put, remaining. So this is what is left over out of this amount. And I'll do that by going equal sign minus parenthesis. I'll click my total of what I have, and I'll divide that with a comma. In Sheets, you'll do commas, not like divide signs or minus signs or anything. So minus my total from what I need, and that will give me $601.43 left over. So this is all unspent money. I like to also bold these just so that they kind of stand out. You can do like a different color if you want to. So what I do with my leftover $600 is I write out my savings categories, which are also kind of like sinking funds, only they don't really have a specific spend date. So they're just savings. So we've got a family category that includes things like if my son needs new clothes, if my husband needs new shoes, if I need like a new bra, stuff like that. It's pretty much a clothing category, but anything that really falls under family stuff. So if this gets really big in the future, when my son is in school, if it involves like me having to pay for like a field trip, I can do that with this category. Anything family centric goes here. And then I have medical, which is different than medicine because medicine is strictly for medication. Medical is, you know, like a doctor copay when you go to the doctor, or if God forbid, if we have to go to the ER, we can have money to pay for that when the bills come in. That's what that is for. And then we have, what is my other category? We have a house category. We are trying to save up to buy a house. Right now, we recognize that our savings is going to be really small in terms of the house category. But here in about 2 years, both of our cars will be paid off and we'll have about $600 roughly coming into our income that we aren't spending anymore. So here in about 2 years, we'll already have a little bit of a savings built up, and then we can start really pounding in the savings because we won't have our car payments. So there is that. And then what is our other category? Let me check that real quick. And this is why I like to keep this in sheets too, because if I'm like thinking about this, if I have downtime at work, I can just kind of pull it up and remember and not forget anything important. So we've got our emergency and car maintenance. So we have an emergency fund. So medical, yes, we can cover that in medical, but say our medical got drained from bills, we still have an emergency fund as well. We don't need fund right there. I don't know why that's there. But we also have an emergency fund. So this just obviously emergencies. Anything, if we're out of our medical fund for some reason, we had a really big bill, we can pull from the emergency fund. And then we have, what was it? Car maintenance. I just put car main because I don't like to type things out, okay? And car maintenance is obviously car maintenance. This does not include oil changes. I like to budget for that separately because those are like a regular thing that you have to do. But car maintenance includes if you have an accident and you need to get something repaired, or if just something just completely craps out on you, you can do that. And this part gets a little annoying, but these are my 5 categories of savings. This is what my family decided is what we need to save for. So what I do now is I go to this box right here, I type the equal sign, and then I type divide, parenthesis, and I'll click the remaining, I'll click a comma, and then I'll click 5 because we have 5 categories. So we're taking our leftover money and we're dividing it between each of the categories. I'll hit enter. So these numbers right here should all be the same as this number. So $120.29 will go into each category. So let me quickly, you can't do the drag thing for some reason. It doesn't like to work, but these should work out. Remaining by 5. Divide remaining 5. That is 1/5 of what's remaining. Just like that. And I will also highlight these in green just because those are cash. They're cash. I like to save my money in cash just because I'm a really bad spender and I will pull it out. I will pull little things just to buy like a new book or something, I really will. So it's important to me that these be in cash and locked away in our safe. So all of this is our cash categories, all the green. I like to, so this would be an automatic payment, and this is supposed to be an automatic payment as well. And I'll like italicize those just to tell me they're coming out automatically. So at the very least, this needs to stay until they come out. So according to this, I should be able to take out this much money. What I will like to do sometimes is just go down here and type in cash. And then because I'm really bad at math, I'll type in = sum, and I'll highlight this, put a comma to separate, highlight this, put a comma to separate, and then click this. And I'll hit enter, and you can see that what I will need to take out of the bank is $921.43. Now, because I'm a little crazy, I like to actually just round this down to 921, and then the rest of this cents right here can just kind of sit in my bank account. That's not a big deal to me. Like, I don't focus on every little penny. I like to round down, and I would rather have this extra like $1 or $2 sitting in my bank account, just in case. It's just how I work. It makes sense to me. So this is what I would take out of the bank. Now, in terms of actual bills, that's a little different of a story. I would, probably, this is where it gets confusing for me, but I'll list out 100s, 50s, 20s, 10s, 5s, and 1s. And then I will go through, I already know, so we've got 150, so we're going to need 100 and 150. We're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 ones. I like my medication to be in 10s just because there's a few different medications, and I have to give my husband some money as well for his medications. We're going to need another 50, so that makes that 2 for the cat. And then, oh, I accidentally put the 10s in the 20s, didn't I? So we're going to put the 10 here, 10 10s. And then we're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more 1s, which will make that a 6. And then for 20s, we're also going to need 5 20s. And then we're going to have to go back up here because we're going to need 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Actually, no. See, I'm really, really bad at math, y'all. So if we go 8 plus 7 is 15. We're going to need those separated. So we can do 2 5s and 5 1s. So 2 5s and 5 1s. Okay. And then if we look back at the medication, we're going to need another 5. So make that 3 5s. And then this should total out to this number right here. So let's just do the math real quick. Or no, actually, you know what we can do? So at this point, I'll just do this math. Okay, let's just do this way. This part takes the longest for me just because I'm like really bad at math, but I like doing this on sheets because it does save me time overall. So 6 times 100 is 600. 50 times 2 is 100. 20 times 5 is, I think, 100. Let's just be sure because this is our money we're messing with. 20, not 200. It is 100, just like I thought. Okay, 100. 10 is also 100, I believe. And then 15, So 5 times 3 is 15, and then 1 times 5 is 5, obviously. Then we can turn this, I'm just going to go ahead and extend this down because I am going to use that space. Turn that into dollars, and then I corrected myself. This should total to be this 921. So if we go equal sum, and then highlight all this, hit enter. 921. See, we're missing a 1 somewhere. And this is why you double check your work. So we are missing a 1 somewhere. No, we're not, because this equaled more than $1. That's actually what we need, $921. But if you really want to double check your work, you can go in here, because we aren't doing these pennies. So 120 times 5 equals $600 even, and then we're going to go plus 50 plus 85 plus 17 plus 18 plus 150 equals 920. Yeah, so we're on track. So I'm going to take out $920 from the bank with these bills. So that's what I'm taking from the bank, and then I will come home and I'll just divide all of these categories up. But that does mean I will need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 envelopes. So I probably need to go get some more envelopes at some point, unless I have some somewhere. I think I do have some somewhere. They're just probably huge, but that's okay. I'll have to make that work for now. But this is for until the next pay period. I'm gonna drag all this down here just so that that goes there. And then I like to do this just because I'm like an Excel dork. I like to just create that line. It's separate. So the next thing I want to show you is we're going to go through this again. So total, this is what I would do if I'm estimating. So it's just the same process. I'm estimating $1,000 in, my husband is getting like a third check. I typically don't consider that like as in our regular funds, but we do have some things coming up that are going to come out of this $1,000 check. That's estimated. So I can always go in, so I can show you later, but we need our eyes checked, and we're setting aside $220 for that. We do have that extra week of food I mentioned at the beginning, so we're setting aside $150. And then what was the other thing? Oil changes. So because I had mentioned that I fell off the bandwagon, I don't actually have an oil changes category saved up. So this is supposed to be for after we get our oil changes out of this money. And I'm setting aside $110 for that. These two categories are probably like seriously over budgeted, but that's okay. We'll just take what's ever left and throw them into one of these categories. But if we go ahead and make this entire column a money category, we can go needed equals sum parenthesis highlight. So we need $480. And of course we got to go remaining. We go equals minus the total minus what we need. So we have $520 left over. So if I just go ahead and bring over, we're going to redo, because we're going to save again for our categories. We have family. We're going to do that exact same thing. Divide by 5. Divide our remaining by 5. Just like that. We're going to end up saving $104 for each category. Just like that. So this is technically a zero-based budget. This works for me. It not only lets me know what's happening, but I can always go back and readjust it. So like here I can show you now. Let's say that estimation was really low and my husband only got paid $9.50. I just go in here, type in $9.50, and everything changes. It'll tell me what changed in my savings, and it just went down to $94 for each category. But right now I'm leaving it at an estimation of $1,000. So that's kind of how I budget. And then of course I would do the exact same thing with this, just down here, and do all the math with that. I won't bore you with that because that does take me a long time. But overall, this works for me. I'm sticking with this, and I really hope this helps somebody else kind of figure out their financial situation. With that, go ahead and give this video a like if you liked it, and if you'd like to see more budgeting content from me or money related content, go ahead and leave a comment down below, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you would like to see more of my videos. Alright, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.